who have actually been trained in some of the fundamentals. And I do think that that's something which will improve, and it'll make our media far better for it.
Jude, should our Bangladeshi journalists be going abroad? And besides English, what other skills would they need in order to report from a foreign culture?
Well, there are a lot of skills that a journalist has to learn. For example, what we're ingraining in our students here is interpersonal communication skills. We feel that's very important, but what's becoming more important now are intercultural communication skills, because Bangladesh is now really integrating with the global village, and therefore skills are necessary that they would be able to communicate with people of other cultures. So that's important as well. And also math skills. Journalists need math skills, and that's what we have placed here in our program here at ULab.
Tunku, let me ask you one last question. You've been here for about a week, and you've met with senior reporters, and you've also met with journalism students. What are the skills that you would say to the student journalists that they need to have in order to get up to global speed?
Well, first of all, let me say that I find the media in Bangladesh to be vibrant, impressive, and vocal. You know, it's an impressively free-spoken society, and it fills me with pleasure to see that. I think the skills that Bangladeshi journalists need, which are skills really that all journalists anywhere need, are really the following. They need to be committed to honesty, they need to be committed to open-mindedness in the pursuit of their profession, and they need to cultivate a respect for the reader or the viewer or the listener, whatever their audience may be. And one small practice, the one area in which Bangladeshi journalists might actually get an advantage in acquiring a skill is in the English language. I think there's a great need for good quality English language journalism in this society, particularly so that Bangladesh can make its case abroad to people outside the borders of this country.
And Zafar, one last question to you. Since you are looking to perhaps hire journalistic talent, what is the one thing that you really wish journalist students had? The one skill?
Well, I am seeing this with the journalism students coming out. What I always tell people is always put yourself in the position of the reader. When you're following a story, think, what is it about this story that will make it interesting to someone who's reading it or someone who's watching it or listening to it? Why am I pursuing this story? So in addition to the technical skills and the ethical training which they are learning in journalism programs and elsewhere, I would urge them to think in terms of putting themselves in the shoes of the reader and to think creatively about what makes a good story. Ultimately, as a journalist, we're storytellers, and they should never lose sight of that.
Great. So, well, we're out of time this evening. So I would like to thank our honored guests, international journalist Tunku Vadrajan, editor of the Dhaka Tribune, Mr. Zafar Soban, and head of media studies and journalism at ULab, Dr. Jude Hanilo. This is Juditha Olmaker. ধন্যবাদ সবাইকে শুভ সন্ধ্যা